Hi, Valentine, it's Mike here, and it's New Year's Day, so that can only mean one thing. It's Final Tag time. So I'm going to do my version of Final Tag 2025. Now, it's not a reply to the Vinyl Tag that's been on YouTube since early December. It's a response to a different Vinyl Tag. And the reason that I'm going to do that is that about 3 months ago, a group of us got together and we thought it might be a nice idea to actually do a collaborative vinyl tag. So we all contributed 3 or 4 questions and made a community video with all 20 questions. And I'll leave a link in the description to that video. And I asked 3 questions, I answered those questions, but now I'm going to answer all 20 questions that were asked on our original video. So, you've now got 2 vinyl tags that you can have a go at. You can have a go at the other one that came out in December, or you can have a go at our vinyl tag, or you can do both, or you can do neither. It's up to you. I mean, the thing about YouTube, it's a big playground, isn't it? And there's room enough for everybody to play. So anyway, before I actually start, I'd just like to say something about the vinyl tag. I mean, it's a great opportunity. If you're thinking of starting your own vinyl community channel, now is the time. Do the vinyl tag, or do a vinyl tag, and put the link, hashtag vinyl tag 2025 in the description somewhere or in the title. And chances are other vinyl community people will pick that video up and they'll subscribe to you. It's what I did 2 years ago. My first vinyl community video was the vinyl tag. So without further ado, here goes. So the first question here is to show an album that has an animal on the cover. And I've gone for this one. It's the Flatworms, it's their debut album, and there you go, there's a dog on the cover. Question number 1 done. Right, second question, an album that you regret buying in 2024. And I've gone for this one, by a band called Nirvana. It's not Kurt Cobain's band, it's the English band. They were, a very good sort of pop psych band from the 1960s. But this is an early 70s album, and it's their sort of foray into the world of prog. As you can see, it's called Secrets. And really, it's okay, but it's not a great album. And there you go. So I kind of regret buying this. It's Secrets by. Oh. Right, an album that I certainly didn't regret buying, and it's question number 3, and it's showing an album that has both live and studio tracks on it. And I've gone for this one. It's by one of my very favourite first wave British punk bands, Penetration, and it's called Race Against Time, and it has a live side and it has a studio side. So the studio side, side 1, is demos, and those demos are what, 1977 to January 1978, and then there's live tracks on the other side, and they're from Newcastle in December 78 and October 79, and it's a really good album. Both sides are really, really good. The demo side is particularly good. So that's an album that's got both live and studio tracks on it. Right, next off is show a blind buy from last year. So the album that I'm showing, I don't buy a lot of albums completely blind. I normally know something about the band. I might not know the album, but I would know the band. But this one is completely blind. I'm trying to get more into ska and reggae and rocksteady, that sort of thing at the moment. And my mate Nick's Vinyl Butty is helping me in that. And anyway, I saw this at a record fair. It's a band called No Sports, and it's called King Ska. Didn't cost a lot, so I thought, well, I'll pick it up. It's from the late 80s. It's pretty good. The lads have done a good job, really. But quite honestly, it's not a patch on the you know, late 70s, early 80s ska, you know, all the two-tone stuff, Specials Madness and all that stuff. But nevertheless, it's an album that I don't regret buying. It's okay. So it's No Sports and King Scar. Right. Question number 5. Oh, a record on one of your favourite record labels. And I've gone for the Fabulous Corettes. So the Corettes are a duo, they're husband and wife, and it's garage. It's sort of 60s tinged garage. It's really, really lovely. And it's on the Damaged Goods label. And Damaged Goods are an excellent contemporary record label. So they do an awful lot of garage, punk, and you know, other sort of more sort of like unusual sort of left field stuff. You know, people like Wild Billy Childish is on Damaged Goods. So yeah, Damaged Goods, great label. And this album, Back in Mono, by the Fabulous Corettes, is an excellent album. Right. Show an album that has a story attached to it. Now, I've shown this album before and I've told this story before, but I'm going to say it again. This is the album. It's Crazy World of Arthur Brown. There you go. And the story behind it is that when Arthur was a teenager, he lived in Leeds with his mum and he lived in this house. So I'm sitting in the house that once Arthur Brown lived when he was a teenager. So there you go. So that's my album with a story attached to it. Right. Yeah. Talk about you know, a DVD live concert or a live concert that's on YouTube that you think would really make a great live album. And I've gone for these guys, Ian Dury and the Blockheads. That's New Boots and Panthers, of course. And I saw Ian Dury lots of times, round about sort of, you know, from about 77 through to sort of early 80s. And there's a really nice live gig on YouTube. And it's Ian Dury and the Blockheads at Rock Palast in February 1978. And I think that would make a wonderful live album. In fact, I don't think, at least there's not any official Ian Dury live albums from this sort of era. So it'd be really nice to have one. So that's a gig I'd like to be made into a live album. Right. Show a compilation album. That's easy. So this is one I bought quite recently. It's called Post-Punk Theory. And it's a collection by somebody called Tony Thorpe. And it's got some pretty good stuff in it. Some familiar stuff, some sort of like stuff that's a bit rare. You've got Basement 5 on here, A Certain Ratio on here, 23 Skidoo, Public Image Limited. But others like The Unknown Cases, Snake Finger, Startled Insects, are bands I don't really know at all. So that's my compilation album. Right. Show a single where you think the B side is better than the A side. And I've gone for this one. It's the Jam. And as you can see, this is When You're Young. But the B side is called Smithers Jones. And I think Smithers and Jones is a much better track than the A side. Now, not there's anything wrong with the A side, but the B side is definitely better on this single, in my opinion. Right. Show a record that you bought that you thought was a bargain in 2024, and it's this one. It's the Saints. I paid very little for it. It's their EP 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, I think I got a bargain. You don't see this very often, so I was happy to get it, and really happy to get it at the price I did. So that was my bargain from 2024. Right. Show an album that the cover is a work of art. Now, this can either be an album that actually has a work of art on the cover, or it could be an album that you think is so lovely that you'd like to put it in a frame and put it on your wall. Well, I've gone for this. It's the Pogues, Rum, Sodomy and the Lash, and the picture on the front cover is a painting by the French romantic painter Theodore Géricault, and I think this painting is hanging in the Louvre, and it's called The Raft of the Medusa, and it's a shipwreck, as you can see. And what they've done here is the faces of the band have been superimposed on the faces of the crew. So that's an album cover that's a work of art. Right, next off, a band that you really don't like. And this is a band that I always feel I should like, but I don't. And it's the Ramones. I just find them a bit samey. There's something about them. I know lots and lots of people really love the Ramones, but I've never really been able to get into them. But there you go. We all have our own musical taste, don't we? Right. Oh, right. Okay. Show a record that reminds you of your first love. Wow. And you can interpret that in any way you like. But this one, it's a single. It's a single. And it was bought for me by my then girlfriend when I was about 13 or 14 years old. Her name was Jackie. I think, our romance lasted probably, the length of the summer holidays, and that was about it. But it's Curved Air, and it's Backstreet Love. So there you go. That's a record that reminds me of my first love. Right, next one. Oh, the most played album of 2024. I don't know if this is right or not, but I've certainly played this one an awful lot of times. It's a lovely album. It's by one of my favourite female vocalists. It's by Jane Weaver, and it's Love in Constant Spectacle. Lovely album by a lovely singer. So there you go. That's my most played album of 2024. Right, show an album where you only like one track. Now, the one I'm going to show, it's not quite true that I only like one track, but there's one track that is absolute standout, and quite honestly, the rest of the tracks I have difficulty remembering sort of what they're like and what they're called. So it's this. It's urban hymns. It's the Verve, and of course, the track I like is Bittersweet Symphony, and it's overplayed. This song, really overplayed. You hear it so often as a backing music in for television programs and films and whatever. But I still really love that tune. And the thing is, as I say, I can't really remember much about the rest of the album. So I think what I'll do is, when I've done this video, I'll give this album a spin again and see if my memory is jogged. But at the moment, as it stands, it's Bittersweet Symphony. It's the only track I really like on this album. Right, give a shout out to an overseas channel, an overseas VC channel. And so that's basically just any VC channel that aren't resident in the same country as you. And I've gone for a guy who lives in Melbourne, and he's a French guy. It's called Fred, and his channel is Big Star 1000. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to go and subscribe to him. And I've had the pleasure of chatting to Fred a couple of times on live streams. He's a very intelligent guy. He's got a very sort of eclectic knowledge of music. He's got a fantastic record collection. And just probably 2 weeks before Christmas, he put out a video, and it was about the English folk revival, from the 1960s sort of onwards. And he showed loads of records, but he also showed a book. And the book is called Electric Eden by Rob Young. And at the same time as Fred posted his video, my son asked me, is there anything you'd like for Christmas? So I thought, yes, I know, I'd like this book. So here it is. So thanks, James, for buying that for me. I haven't had a chance to sort of read it yet, but I've had a flick through and it's got an absolutely brilliant, very comprehensive discography in the back. So I think I'm going to really enjoy sort of first of all reading the book and then using it for reference in the years to come. So yeah, the overseas channel that I would recommend is Fred Big Star 1000. Right. Okay, show a record that you bought because you saw it on someone else's VC channel. So this album I've seen not once but twice on this person's channel, and the person in question is a guy from sometimes in Norway, sometimes in Denmark. I think he's in Denmark just at the moment, and he's called Morten Asta, and he's a very sort of enthusiastic member of the vinyl community, and I really love that. And he shows stuff I know, he shows stuff that I don't know. And a while ago, he showed this album by a Norwegian singer from Stavanger called Aurora, and it's called what's it called? What Happened to the Heart? Anyway, I remember at the time I went out and sought out her music. I had a good listen to it and thought, yeah, she's really good. I really need to buy some stuff, and then forgot all about her. Anyway, so when Morten did his best of 2024 recently, he mentioned Aurora again. So I thought, right, I'm not going to miss out again. So I was onto Amazon and I've got this. I played it a couple of times, and it's a lovely album. I've also been listening to quite a lot of her back catalogue. So she's a really, really lovely singer. She says she's influenced by Björk and Leonard Cohen. I can see the Björk, but I can't quite see the Leonard Cohen. Maybe it's sort of lyrically that she's influenced by him. But nevertheless, it's a fantastic album. So thanks for recommending that to me, Morten. Right. We're nearly there. Next is show an album that's been written on. So it could be, a second-hand record you bought where somebody's sort of scribbled all over it, which sort of happens sometimes and can be extremely annoying, can't it? Or it could be an album that's been signed by the artist. And I've gone for the latter. And this is rather nice. I was lucky enough to get test pressing, and it's by the Welsh singer Kate Le Bon, no relation to Simon Le Bon, and this is a test pressing of her album Pompeii. She's written Pompeii Lives, and then signed it Kate Le Bon, and it came with this rather nice print as well. So that's an album that's somebody's written. Right. Okay. 2 more questions to go. And the next one is to give a shout out to a YouTube channel that is not a VC channel. And I've gone for a music channel. And it's a music channel for a band I absolutely love. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I love this band. And it's the Lovely Eggs. This is their latest album called Existentialism. They're sort of very much sort of DIY, garage sort of punk, and they're fantastic live. And so when I bought my the latest album from them, I got this little thing. You brought out a new album, Love Holly and David. So Holly and David, duo, married couple, and they've got a brilliant website. So not only can you see their music videos on there, but they do other stuff as well. There's book reviews on there, and there's a lovely little series, and it's called David's Stage Door Entrances. And all this is that David's sort of making his way from the dressing room or wherever onto the stage. at various UK venues, and it's fascinating stuff. I mean, some of the dressing rooms are absolutely miles away from the stage. But as I say, I really love the Lovely Eggs, and I'm happy to give a shout out to their channel. Right, and last but not least, show an album that you borrowed, or a single maybe, or show a record that you borrowed, but you never gave back. Well, I'm going to show this one, American Punk's Fiddler, and this album belongs to my son, and a while ago it kind of found its way into my record collection, and it's still there. So if you want it back, James, you're welcome to have it, but in the meantime it stays with me. So that's it. So that's that's the vinyl tag that myself and my friends did, and I hope you can have a go at it and have a bit of fun. And I'll see you in the next video. So see you then. Bye bye.